This isn't funny, Kondo thought. Just when he was about to finish her off, Carrera had awakened to her ultimate power right before his eyes. He wished he could tell her to stop with that nonsense, but it was too late now. Kondo unleashed his deadliest bullets, yet Carrera refused to fall. As her hidden power finally awakened, the lieutenant realized his failure to end her was a catastrophic mistake. Well, wonderful. If only I had any judgment bullets left. Deprived of his ultimate trump card, Lieutenant Kondo faced Carrera's overwhelming new power. Though fear flickered within him, he steeled his resolve as a soldier, ready to fulfill his final duty while baring his heart to his demonic foe. You are all so unfair. She laughed at mankind as feeble, and rightly so. In terms of species, the difference in status was like a chasm, impossible to fill. Even Kondo felt justified in complaining about it a bit. Carrera gave this a satisfied nod. Yes, of course it is. We are the strongest species, after all. But I think you're being rather unfair, too, aren't you? Recognizing Kondo as her equal, Carrera raised her sword in ultimate respect. She unleashed Abaddon, channeling a vortex of black and white energy. Mastering the chaotic force through sheer focus, she prepared to strike with her full, terrifying power. Allow me to show you everything. I'd appreciate it if you didn't. Hee. Don't be such a stick in the mud. I have recognized you as my equal, and I will show you the best magic I've got. Kondo had a bad feeling about this. The Carrera was a demon who cared very little about the feelings of other people. That gave the demon Lord Leon a hard time as well, although Carrera was just playing around at the time. It was a nasty thing to think, but from Kondo's point of view, Leon had it easy. He didn't have to deal with Carrera when she was truly serious, but Kondo did. Among the 4 Devil Lords, including Diablo, Carrera now boasted the largest magicule count. She hadn't been able to fully control it before, but with Abaddon, that shortcoming was a thing of the past. The current Carrera, in fact, could manipulate magic to an extent that rivaled Valgrand. Let me grant you perdition. Vanish before me. Abyss Annihilation. In a desperate bid for victory, the yellow primordial Carrera unleashed her ultimate magic. Abyss Annihilation. This forbidden fusion of hellish matter and gravitational collapse was a force so volatile it could erase entire planets, a power Carrera had never truly mastered until this very moment. While her companion Ajera watched in silent terror, Lieutenant Kondo realized the sheer scale of the catastrophe. The energy wasn't just a threat to him. It threatened to tear the entire dimension asunder. Yet, as Kondo braced for the impact, a chilling realization struck him. This world-ending magic was merely a decoy. Hidden behind the roaring torrent of energy was Carrera's true ace. A lethal downward slash from her demon blade. Trapped between a dimensional collapse and a god-tier strike, Kondo understood that his only hope for survival was a single, desperate gamble to outslash the demoness herself. So Kondo made up his mind. Sheathing his beloved sword, he waited for the moment to come. Then, as soon as Carrera activated her magic, he made his move. Risking it all, he drew his sword. Multi-layered. Blossom Flash. Pushing past his limits, Kondo gambled everything to replicate Hikuro's legendary swordplay. As Carrera's Abyss Annihilation threatened total destruction, he infused his blade with a forbidden judgment bullet. Despite his armor shattering, Kondo's faith never wavered. He sliced through the chaos, meeting the primordial smile with the lethal 8 blossom slashes, aimed directly at her head. Carrera went above him. Nice try. Now let me show you my greatest technique, for I have made Ajera's experience my own. With 100 transcendent flashes, Carrera's Crestwater 100 flower bloom shattered Kondo's blade. A final fatal blow carved through his body, and the legendary lieutenant collapsed, closing his eyes as his life finally ebbed away. How incomplete. He laughed at himself as he thought this. In the end, he could do nothing, neither protect his nation, nor keep his promise to Ludora. Be my friend, Tensura. I couldn't even keep my promise to you. Kondo's heart was filled with regret, the thought of the unfulfilled promise making him feel ready to burst. Tensura, may I ask you a favor? Yes. Anything. I will do whatever I can to help as a friend. Right. I wanted to return the favor. I wanted to thank Ludora for calling me a friend, for giving me a reason to live in this world. But even so, that wish was such a cruel one. Long ago, I asked Damrata for a favor. I told him that should I ever lose sight of my ideals, I wanted him, my friend, to stop me. But I have now lived far too long, and Damrata is too kind a person to take my life with his own hands. I truly regret asking him for such a terrible favor. So, Tensura, I know you will be able to reason through it calmly. You will be able to kill me, won't you? So please, you must interfere with Damrata's efforts, and stop me with your own hands. Tensura. Kondo gazed at Emperor Ludora, the hero who had once saved him from despair. Using his unique skill, Decipher, Kondo realized a tragic truth that even the true dragon Valgrand had missed. Ludora's soul was fracturing. After countless reincarnations to control the ultimate skill, Michael, the Emperor, was reaching his limit. Bound by a secret promise to slay his lord should he lose his humanity, Kondo watched as Rudra's warmth faded into heartless coldness. To Kondo, keeping this promise was the final painful act of loyalty to the man he admired most. When did it begin? When did Damrata begin to make serious moves toward this effort? Did I overlook something important, perhaps? He had interfered with Damrata as ordered, but perhaps that was a serious mistake. When they first met, Ludora was absolutely a shining presence, but Kondo had missed his transformation. As soon as Kondo realized this, he felt the gloom in his heart clear out, as if the shackles had finally been undone. Yes. I suppose I was long ago under Michael's influence as well. How pathetic, he thought. And it was. Right when Damrata was about to murder Ludora, he should have acted first instead of interfering. Perhaps he would have been able to stop Ludora then. What a mistake. There was no taking that back now. Kondo didn't know why he had been freed from Michael's control, but at this point, he could no longer move a finger. All that remained was to wait for his body to rot away. My liege, I am useless. I couldn't bear your suffering alongside you, nor could I do anything to alleviate it. And even that promise to free you. His role was to stop Ludora, but there was no carrying that out now. His life would surely end in regret. Hey, were you sleeping down there? Let's keep going. He heard a voice speaking to him, rousing him from his sleep. Opening his eyes a little, he saw his enemy, the one who fought him to the death, pouting and looking straight at him. She was a demon with shining blonde hair and a dazzling smile, truly beautiful. Don't be ridiculous. I am already near death. There is no way I could fight. Huh. But we haven't settled this yet. You can't do that. Ha, ha ha. Settle this. Yes, indeed. In the end. You are so unfair. He doubted it was coming across, but Kondo still smiled faintly at Carrera's words. Carrera herself would already be out of energy, just a few steps away from losing her physical body, and the thought made him smile. He tried to lift his body up and failed. It was so shameful. So I can't do anything after all. And meanwhile, the demon before him was so free, so pure. I truly do envy you. It was an honest, sincere thought. It drove Kondo to say things he didn't even understand the meaning of. I have a favor. Use my gun, to kill his majesty. He was about to entrust his one and only role to his mortal enemy. What am I doing? What a stupid thing to ask the demon I was just fighting against. The wishes of the defeated were doomed to always be laughed at. He truly thought so, but for some reason, he still said it. So Carrera picked up the Nambu semi-automatic on the ground. You mean this? It's broken. Ah, yes, it probably is, Kondo thought as his consciousness faded. Perhaps asking for this wish was a little naive of him. No demon would be that kind to him. That's the harsh reality of it, and Kondo knew it well. He was fading fast. He had become a saint, but he was still a human being. If his soul was broken, revival would be impossible. Carrera's blow had inflicted a fatal wound on him, and he could tell he was disintegrating from the far edges inward. By now, reversal was impossible. So you're going to give up just because you broke your toy here? After all the suffering you put me through, that's pretty weak. It was such a nice battle, too. What a disappointment. Carrera, his former enemy, was giving him encouragement. He didn't expect that. So, with his last ounce of energy, he smiled bitterly. Ha, ha ha. Yes. Hilarious. My own worthlessness is but a joke. With that, he tried to let go of his consciousness. But, wait, don't go on me yet. Maybe I'm willing to kill this emperor for you, huh? Ugh. You're so slow on the uptake. What do I get out of it? Everybody knows that if you want a demon to work for you, you need an agreement. Despite her stubborn nature, Carrera offered Kondo a favor for a price. Amused by her bashful behavior, the warrior found a strange, soothing peace in his flustered enemy's company. You will get everything I have, even my soul. So please. Fading fast, Kondo met Carrera's gaze. He cast aside his pride and entrusted his iron-willed wish to the primordial demon, choosing to believe in her before the end. But the voiceless request reached Carrera. Your wish has been heard. By my name is Carrera the Menace Lord, our contract is complete. Your wish shall be granted. With a dying smile, Kondo's touch transformed the broken gun into a golden god-class weapon. As his soul flowed into Carrera, his core transcended the cycle of reincarnation. The enlightened warrior had finally achieved absolute liberation. It made Carrera a little sad. This isn't funny. It's been a long time since I had an opponent with some actual backbone. And as she muttered that. In that case, let's merge the ultimate skill Abaddon, Lord of Destruction, with Sandalphon, Lord of Judgment. She felt like she heard a voice. Hurriedly, Carrera turned her attention back to the gun in her hand. Its golden glow seemed to brighten further, as if to tell her she'd no longer be alone. It was something to remember Kondo by, and now, it was Carrera's new partner. Oh, so you're with me now. When she spoke, the light from the gun seemed to blink for a moment, and as it did, she began to feel the power flowing into her. The way you use your power is far too careless. I will help you, so you must make sure to use me better than that. It sounded like Kondo's voice to her, and the next moment, she understood everything. In an instant, she had made Kondo's ability her own. How's that any of your business? Stop treating me like a child. Arrogant to the end, Carrera thought. But at least she didn't feel lonely any longer. She stood up. Congratulations on your splendid victory. Ajera, I'm thoroughly impressed. You too. Good job surviving that and all. Haha. It's very embarrassing to receive praise from you, you know. Broken by Kondo's strikes and the backlash of Carrera's magic, Ajera's form reached its limit. Reverting from a blade back to a man, the bloody demon smiled, deeply satisfied by the battle's end. This man Kondo. He was a descendant of one of your trainees, wasn't he? It would appear so. Guess I shouldn't treat all humans like idiots, given the way they can inherit and accumulate skills and everything. Ajera happily nodded. But seeing how much stronger he was than you was a surprise. The smile disappeared. He was, but only because he was a truly exceptional man. If we had fought with swords alone, I am positive I would have won. Yeah, right. They shared a loud laugh. If they were alike in any way, it was that they were both sore losers. But beyond the eyes of the laughing Carrera was a rift in this dimension, which was already collapsing. Through it, she could see Emperor Ludora sitting on his throne. Let's go. This fight's just getting started. Carrera strode on, her usual bold smile now front and center on her face once more. Of course. I will be glad to join you, and we shall strike terror in the hearts of those who dare to stand in our way. Ajera followed, wounded almost to the point of death, but totally unconcerned about it. The enemy was still out there, and the most important thing now was the promise they must fulfill.